Thank you so much for watching Landumc Goes There. Please subscribe and hit the like button and the bell notification button. VERA CRUZ is a 1954 American Western film directed by Robert Aldrich, and it stars Gary Cooper and Burt Lancaster, and it features Denise Darcel, Sarah Montiel, Cesar Romero, Ernest Borgnine, Charles Bronson, and Jack Elam. It was produced by Burt Lancaster's production company and released by United Artists on Christmas Day, 1954. The picture's amoral characters and cynical attitudes towards violence were considered shocking at the time, and they influenced future westerns such as The Magnificent Seven, The Professionals, and Sam Peckinpah's The Wild Bunch. It also heavily influenced the king of spaghetti westerns, Sergio Leone, which his films often featured supporting cast members from this movie in very similar roles. That's the reason it's really labeled as the first spaghetti western, although it wasn't an Italian-bred production. The storyline goes that following the American Civil War, veteran Benjamin Train and gunslinger Joe Aaron are just two of the many men who head to Mexico to act as mercenaries. When Emperor Maximilian recruits their services, they reluctantly work together since the price for it is right. Train and Aaron are to escort Countess Marie to VERA CRUZ, but when they find a wealth of gold hidden in the stagecoach, the original plan no longer applies. Before taking on the role of Ben Train, Gary Cooper was advised by Clark Gable not to work with Burt Lancaster. He told him that the young actor would upstage him, and he basically does in this film. Lancaster is off the charts. He completely controls the screen in the movie. Marie Blanchard was meant to play the female lead in this film, and they actually signed up to borrow her from Universal Studios. But something in a clause in her contract kept them from doing it. Instead, they cast Denise Darcel. During one part of the film, when they were shooting a scene, Gary Cooper was badly hurt when he was struck by fragments from a bridge that was blown up during the shoot because the special effects team ended up using too much explosive in the charge. The movie was shot entirely on location in Mexico. One day during a break in filming, Charles Bronson and Ernest Borgnine decided to go into the nearest town for cigarettes. This meant saddling up in costume, sidearms and all, and riding into town. On their way there, the two were spotted by a truck full of federales, who mistaken them for bandits. They stopped the pair and held them at gunpoint until representatives of the film company showed up to vouch for them. Ernest Borgnine shared in his autobiography that Burt Lancaster brought his children to the set and that all of them laughed at Jack Elam because of his wayward left eye. Elam got pretty upset about this, and it even came to the point to where Lancaster and him got into a fist fight. The Mexican authorities were completely appalled at the way their citizens were depicted in this movie. So subsequently, Hollywood Productions had to conform to very strict rules from here on out. This explains why, in The Magnificent Seven from 1960, the locals are all wearing pristine white clothes. It's been said that Gary Cooper was taking so much medication during the filming that it really affected him, and it almost comes across that way on the screen. He also hated working with Sarah Montiel, claiming that she smelled terrible and that she never washed her hair. Cooper caused problems because he would object to everything in the script that implied that his character was anything other than good, and he would demand it be changed. Burt Lancaster was quite happy to give up top billing to Cooper, knowing that the older actor had more box office pull than he did at the time. Director Robert Aldrich was so keen on this period of history that he planned to shoot a biopic of Emperor Maximilian. In 1964, he announced that he would begin filming after he finished Flight of the Phoenix, but all of this failed to materialize. He's often stated that this production was one of his favorite films that he ever did. In her autobiography, Playing the Field, Mamie Van Doren claimed that Burt Lancaster interviewed her for the role of the Countess, and at that time tried to seduce her. She told him that she didn't wish to get the part that way, and that her mother was waiting outside in the car. Lancaster looked at her and told her that she was right, and he went ahead and gave her the script to study. And although she officially auditioned, she obviously didn't get the part. For being made in the mid-1950s, the movie has quite a fast cutting rate. In 90 minutes of action, it contains about 1,130 edits or other transitions. This equates to an average shot length of just under 5 seconds. Now, Denise Darcel plays the female lead, and during this time, she was a pretty hot commodity for Hollywood productions. After her film and television career began to wane, at the age of 41, she became a stripper, appearing in West Coast venues in San Francisco, Las Vegas, and Oakland, along with also showing up in Los Angeles. She then retired from stripping after doing it for a few years and returned to the cabaret circuit, and also made a few appearances on television. But in June of 1968, she was arrested in Miami, Florida, and charged with shoplifting women's undergarments that were valued at $38, which is $330 today. That seems like a lot of undergarments. She was released on a $500 bond, and she was found guilty and fined $300 in July of 1968. Go back and take a look at this film. I'm not sure if I like it. It's not a bad film, but the acting seems too forced to me. It's worth watching, but I'm just not crazy about it. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll continue to chase the classics.